There's a place in France where the naked ladies dance. There's a hole in the wall where the men can see it all. But you know what? Today that place and its hole are empty because everyone is watching Odos, where culinary gangsters are made one dish at a time. Today we're making ratatouille, like the movie. We're going to start by grating some carrots. In fact, we're going to be doing lots of grating, slicing, and dicing for this recipe. To some it may seem like a lot of work, but this sort of thing can be meditational. And let me assure you, the end result here is amazing. Which is saying something, coming from someone who fed his green beans to the dog under the table when he was a child. Sorry, Mom. Yes, this dish may be vegetarian, but it tastes so good, it doesn't even need meat. And speaking of needing meat, I'd like to give a shout out to our rowdiest fans, the Sisters of Insanity. Hello, ladies. What we're doing here is preparing a sauce, which will be our base for all those pretty sliced vegetables to rest upon before baking later. But for now, to make the sauce, we're going to sauté the carrots, peppers, onions, and some garlic in olive oil for about 10 minutes or until soft. You can find the full recipe in the description below. So when the vegetables are just soft and the garlic is fragrant, we're going to add a 28-ounce can of stewed tomatoes. Some recipes call for fresh tomatoes, some call for canned. There are many variations, which I'll get to later. But for now, we're going to cover and simmer while we get to slicing. Oh yeah. The thinner the better. I know there's a joke in there because I'm holding an eggplant, but get your minds out of the gutter. All kidding aside, if you have a mandolin, use that to get thin, even slices. And try to pick veggies of similar size, because when we're done slicing, we're going to arrange all the different veggies in a line, and the more uniform they are in size, the more evenly they will cook. And they'll also look beautiful. After simmering for 30 minutes, we're going to puree our sauce. I'm transferring to a smaller saucepan and tossing in some fresh herbs at this point. That's a teaspoon of thyme and about 2 tablespoons of basil. And then we blend. And if you still don't have a hand blender, do me a favor, run out and get one ASAP. Here is where the magic happens, so pay close attention. We're going to start by spreading that velvety puree onto the bottom of a baking dish. And then we'll organize our sliced veggies onto a cookie sheet in the order of your choosing. Once you've chosen the order, you must stick with it, so choose carefully. I think now is a good time to talk about the history of ratatouille and its many variations. But first we'd like to thank Melissa's Produce for providing us with the gorgeous veggies you see in this video. Get your shipment today. Ratatouille is a French dish of stewed vegetables that originated in Nice in southern France in the late 18th century. There are many variations, but the most traditional ratatouille recipes don't actually look anything like the dish in the movie, which is a variation called confit bialdi. So technically, we're making confit bialdi, but for the sake of impressing your friends and family, we'll just call it ratatouille, like the movie. So once we've neatly stacked all of our sliced vegetables, we're going to arrange them inside the baking dish on top of the sauce that we made. You can already see how beautiful this is going to look, and I can honestly say that it will taste just as good as it looks. If this were a painting, it would probably be in the Louvre. The final step before baking is to create a dressing to spoon over the vegetables. We're going to start with a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and then add the rest of our herbs, some garlic, and a pinch of salt. And then, after a good stir, it's time to spoon. Get your spoon on. If you've never spooned a vegetable before, I highly recommend it, and I'm sure they appreciate it. A pampered vegetable is a happy one. I mean, just smell the fresh herbs and garlic, all oiled up and ready to go. Now all we have to do is cover and bake. Now would be a great time to dust off that 2005 Chateau Latour you've been itching to open, while we bake this at 375 for 45 minutes. And then uncover and bake to perfection for another 45 minutes. By now, the smell of garlic and herbs filled my kitchen, and I'll tell you, I was pleasantly surprised by just how good this was. There's something about stewing thinly sliced vegetables in that delicious tomato sauce that creates a velvety texture that caught me off guard. I really enjoyed every last bite. So whether you're one of the dancing naked ladies or the men who like to watch them, rest assured this dish is within your reach. It doesn't so much take talent, but the passion to create your own culinary masterpiece. And remember, in the words of Gusteau, anyone can cook. Merci beaucoup, c'est la vie, and thanks for watching.